Alright guys, I am back in my usual 49er attire. As you can see, hat, jersey, that's what's up. So I'm here, 49ers reporter Dion, coming to you live from the house, man, where I normally record at. You know what I'm saying? First off, if you like. You know what I'm saying? If you want to continue to get great 49er information firsthand, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now on to business. So, from this practice today, there are a lot of different takeaways, but I'm going to get into things as far as the practice in another video. What I want to get into is this offensive line has me a little bit worried. So good news is, as far as today, with Mike Person, it was just a foot strain, so he's day-to-day. So that just tells me probably not going to see Person for the rest of the preseason, and he'll be ready for week 1. Now, as far as everything else goes, Rich Burke still isn't back. Still battling to try to get back from that knee surgery he had in this offseason. We have a projected starting offensive line. This is the projected line. Bookends are going to be Staley and McGlinchey. Guards are going to be Person and Tomlinson. Center technically is supposed to be Weston Richburg. Here's the issue. What do we have behind them? Our offensive line depth is a scary situation. We don't know who's going to do what. We signed this kid Sam Young from Miami. He's been in the league at least about 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little bit longer. So we are signing him to try to be our swing tackle. We can play left or right tackle. Because Sean Coleman went down with that season-ending injury, and Willie Beavers came in and played the right tackle, and it looked like a fucking walking atrocity. So the other issue is who we have to back up our guards. Because I'm looking at an injury report here. As far as the guys that went ahead and wound up not practicing, and a couple of them were very serious. And one of the guys that constantly gets injured, can never stay healthy, and has not been on the field for us. And they may take a full year off just to get his body in shape, Joshua Garnett. So Garnett was fully healthy when Shanahan came around. Talking fully healthy, ready to go. They didn't like where he was at weight-wise, and told him he needed to get his body in shape, get his mind right, and they gave him the year off. So enter Laken Tomlinson and Mike Person. Then we got Weston Richburg. Now, my only issue, and I'm just going to be honest about this, the last few offensive linemen that we've picked up, as far as free agency is concerned, Person and Tomlinson have worked out. Not bad. Not going to be upset about that. But you go and get Weston Richburg because you feel like he's great, he does this, he does that, but he can barely stay healthy. And then he came from the Giants' offensive line. The Giants' offensive line was shit. So I never understand, the mind of a coach when it comes to taking players, and putting them in positions and giving them tons of money as far as, GMs and Parag Marante and all those guys are concerned. When they come from places where there's no winning involved. I can see why the Giants went ahead and paid Nate Solder. He was protecting Tom Brady all the fucking years. Yeah, you paid Nate Solder because you think he's going to be the guy. He's that good. He comes from a winning, formula, a winning system. So you think it's possibly going to carry over. Now, Nate Solder has been abysmal since he's been with the fucking New York Giants, but it is what it is. You paid him because you saw what he previously did, and you paid him off the fact that he came from a winning situation. But now you don't have that. So, it's really weird to see, what could go on and what happens. Lots of players didn't go ahead necessarily in practice, but, Nick Bosa, D. Ford, Joshua Garnett. There's a variety of different people that did practice. But as far as our offensive line depth, that's the scary part. Because we're going to have a few people. And from what I heard the other day in practice, and then even in practice at home, Ben Garland has not been doing very well as our current center. There's been some issues with him and Jimmy G as far as the snap is concerned. Shotgun snaps, whether it be, under center snaps, all of that. So we got to get that under wraps, and we got to make sure that we have a viable, backup center as far far as it pertains to Weston Richburg, because if he can't get back healthy, we're gonna have to roll with Ben Garland. And if we roll with Ben Garland and he's having these problems now, you better fix this shit quick. We're gonna be in a world of fucking trouble. So as far as the receivers, the running backs, I'm not worried about depth there. We got so many receivers, we don't know what to do. We're trying to figure out what's happening. But as far as the running backs, we got more than enough. Honestly, I'm going to say this, and I've said this in several videos. I know some people may not like it. Cut Jerick McKinnon already. The guy hasn't come here and done anything for us. He can barely stay healthy. He's winding up in a situation now where we may have to put him on IR. If we put him on IR, we don't get him back to week 8. By week 8, Breida, Mostert, and Tevin Coleman are going to be more than entrenched in the offense and running things. We have a running back by committee. We don't need a guy sucking up money on the salary cap that's not producing. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I'm very, very adamant about that. It's big to me that if you're going to be here, you're going to be here to get paid because you actually play and you actually give us something. If you're just being here to suck up a paycheck, that's worthless. I get injuries happen. Don't get me wrong. I never played football. I ran track. I was never big enough for football. The only time I played football was in the streets. I played on the grass, and we played real tackle football, you know what I'm saying, where you actually would get your ass lit up. We wouldn't have no pads, helmets, and none of that shit. We went on the grass, and motherfuckers got tackled, ankles were sprained, all kinds of shit happened. But it was good fun, you know what I'm saying? So, and for me, it's a situation where you have to think about it from a logical standpoint. We have 3 viable backs. Looks like Austin Wilds and the other kid that we have there are coming on strong. We got the other kid that we had last year. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Don't judge me. But we got all those guys there. So, I mean, holding an extra running back for what? I mean, if anything, we got to see what's going on. We got Trent Taylor possibly going to have to put him on IR. We have to wait till week 8 to get him back, so that bodes well. Another thing I can say about the offense right now is that Richie James Jr. had a good day. They said Keese had a good day. You haven't really heard much about Keese this offseason, have you? You got to think about that. You haven't really heard his name very, very often. I think they keep Keese because of his downfield speed and his straight line speed. He can go. He can take the top off the defense and still leave something under there. So he opens up lanes for Kittle, for Dante Pettis, for Deebo Samuel, for Jalen Hurd, all that. You haven't heard Hurd's name as far as these practices have been concerned either. You've heard a little bit more of Richie James. So that bodes well for him because he's trying to make the squad. You haven't heard anything about Jordan Matthews these past couple of days either. So Garoppolo has only thrown 1 interception, and that was on Friday. Today he didn't throw any. So as far as our offense is concerned, they're coming together. They're gelling slowly. They're going to be building, but the offensive line depth is a little scary. So we have to figure out what the hell we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and if we're going to be able to, hold up with all this right now, because it's going to be kind of hard to, go into the season and not feel comfortable with the viable backups that you have. I can tell you right now, in the draft next year, that's probably what we're going to be drafting. We're going to draft ourselves a center. Most likely going to draft ourselves a guard, depending on how this season comes out. Because Tomlinson and Person are seasoned vets. But then at the same time, you got to think about it. I love Joe Staley. I never want that man to retire. I want Joe Staley to be out there, blocking the blind side for whoever's the quarterback to fucking 100. But it's not realistic. So we got to think about drafting Joe's replacement. I know that there was talk before about McGlinchey possibly moving over to left tackle after Joe retires, but I think that he's naturally a right tackle, so we'll have to draft somebody as a left tackle to be able to guard the blind side of Jimmy G if we stick with him for all these years. We don't know. The NFL is business at the end of the day, so you never know what can happen. I'd like Jimmy G to stick around and bring us a couple Super Bowls, but we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not by any way saying that, they're talking about trading him or getting rid of him. It's not happening. I'm just saying that we don't know what's going to happen. We have to, see after his contract is up if they're going to extend him or what they feel is, good for the franchise. We got at least 3 more years of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, so we got to figure out what's going on. Offensive line depth is scary, but we're going to make it. Y'all stay 9 and faithful. It's 9 a gang, 9 a nation. Peace out.